Stadium. We have come to visit Talanta FC. We want to know how their season was in the National Super League and also what their ambitions for the 2018-2019 season in the National Super League, what they intend to do and how they intend to make the season better. And right now I'm joined by the coach, Abdalla Juma. Good morning, coach.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
Very much well, very much well.
First training session of the season.
Not the first one. This is the third day of the preparation in the pre-season.
How has it been?
In fact, it's very much good because you can see the players. They are very much agile. They are very much happy. We have started the season, and you can see the team is up, and everybody he wants to join the team, and they are all working very much hard.
Let's roll it back to the 2018 season. You finished ninth on the log with 48 points. You know, what can you say of the season?
It was so good. We started very well. We are up. We started for 2 to 3 months. We were number 5, number 4. But due some little bit of some few elements of the team and obstacles, we started going down. Then after that, we started coming up when the thing was good after the Kikoso game and after the team bonding at Kwale. When we went at Kwale, in fact, the team started coming up after the bonding. Now, when we go to Kikoso, the team was superb and we really played up to the finals against Rangers.
Now, let's talk about, before we get into know more about the team, you moved from Chemelil, came to Talanta, and you know the transition from the Kenya Premier League into a National Super League side. How easy was it, or how difficult was it?
In nationwide, things are difficult because you meet the team. We meet the team to some of the team they don't have the real standard. It's not like the Kenya Premier League. But I'm happy joining the Talanta because this is where I started in Talanta. Because for more than 9 to 8 years, I've been in Thika United. I've been working with the youth. The way now I'm working with the youth, you can see my team now, they are youthful players. When I was starting with Akina Farouk, Akina Kahata, Akina Deno, Akina Abdalla Juma in Thika United, and the way I stayed with them. So I'm really very much comfortable when I'm working with the youth because I know how to develop and I know the most important thing with the youth.
So we are talking about the youth. The players that you have here are the youth, and Talanta FC, the dream is, you know, making this youth become better in the future. What can you say of the quality of the players that you have here?
In fact, I have the best quality because I know this time, because you see, I have only dropped 3 players. And I think 1 player will go to the Premier League. But still, we are trying to negotiate with the office. But I'm happy. I have only dropped 3 players. And out of 3 players, I've brought in the best good quality that can help the team to go to the next level. I want this time this team to go to the Premier League. We are working very much hard, and you can see the boys. The office already, they are supporting me now. Strictly, they want the team now to go because the team abstained here along. So I want to work very much hard this time to see we have gone and we have brought another team in Nairobi in the Kenya Premier League.
When the season started last year, rather this year, what was the ambition?
The ambition, it is now only to go to the Premier League because the players, they are together. They have my philosophy. I have I know what they want. So the team, you can see, in fact, they are working very well. And you can see my program. My program now, the way I've organized with my junior team, Akakoro. Akakoro is our junior team, the team that is feeding the team. So we are organizing a friendly with them. After playing with them, I've organized next week on 17 to play Kariobangi Shark. After Kariobangi Shark, I play another team from Savannah. And then on Saturday 24th, the last match, I'm playing Madare at Goan. So I'll be having the best team to start the league with on first with Eldoret Youth.
You know, most of the time when we talk to the coaches in the National Super League, what they always say is it's the most difficult league that you can play in. What do you make of that?
Sure, it's the hardest. Because one thing, the league has its secret. The secret company is you cannot get Premier League players playing here. You always go to the nationwide players because they have the experience, because they know how tough it is. But when you get the Premier League players to think they are good, they can play here. When they come here, always they are shy. So before the player comes up and peak, it takes time. But when you took a player, for example, the players have taken Peter Muita. Peter Mwita from Magongo. He's a very good, superb midfielder. So for him to adapt, you can see maybe on first I'll start a game with him because he has that adaptation of playing the national wide and he's a good player. But if you bring a Premier League player here, he started tammering. In fact, the league is so hard, very hard, very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard.
But how have you managed, to maneuver through it?
Through it, because one thing, when number one, I was in Bidiko, I called Premier League players and I see how it tamarins me. Then I get an idea. Instead of taking Kenya Premier player, let me take players who have been sustained the pressure in the national wide. So that time I went very much well. I finished number 2 with Bidiko. That's the time I moved tena from Bidiko to KCB when I became the best coach of the year 2013. After 30 tena, I went to FC Leopard. To FC Leopard still it was somehow hard. But immediately I go back tena to Bidiko. They were number 12. I pushed Bidiko tena again to number 5 because that time they said they wanted how many teams to go to the Premier League? 5 during we went to number 5. After that, 10 again, I went to Chemili. Now I have come here. Here, I told the boss, I'm here, and I'm not comfortable here in the national wide. I'm always comfortable up. So I should go with my team, my only team, because I have experience. I have experience to the Premier League, so I have to make a good team. So they give me support. Mulei, Akina Theuri, Akina Ratem, I'm very much happy with them. Now they are giving me strictly support. And even I know now, things will be different with Talanta.
The question, that most Kenyans want to know, the scouting that you do here in Talanta. I mean, right now, you've had a number of players that were called for trials at the under-23 national teams. That's the emerging stars. How do you do your scouting?
May I do my scouting first? When we are placed with other teams, I have already now, I have a real bank, my bank account in playing. I've got good, superb players which play in the national wide. And now, if I get a granted team, maybe some of the team in the Premier they are chasing me. When immediately stop there, I have just open that account and see which players are good. I can call them in the national. So I have got that idea. I've got that idea because I have experience. And the players which are having here, the way I'm coaching them the way we can go to Premier League, number one. And at the same time, I know Kimanzi what he wants. I know Matano what he wants because I'm one of them. I'm one of the elite coaches. So when I'm training players here, I'm training a player there with the ambition that I want them to go to the national team and to go to the under-23 because I know the coach who is there, the right quality, right thing that Kimanzi wants, the thing that John Kama wants in the under-23. So
how does it feel, knowing that a huge number of your players have been called to the emerging stars?
In fact, even them, the coach, they called me. And in fact, the final matches we played very superb. So every coach and everybody wants us to watch Talanta, wanted to see Talanta. In fact, it gives us a very big chance for our last matches to have a big number in the under-23.
Now we are looking forward to the 2018-2019 season that is coming up in 3 weeks. Yeah. And of course, finishing 9th, I believe, was not what you wanted. Sure. What should we expect from Talanta FC?
In fact, by this time, the way we are preparing, you see, we are starting preparing very much early. We need to go for our goals. And our goals last time, it was to finish with the point 76. And I told the players, look, the team, they are small teams, they have gone to point 76. This is the right time because the players now, they have that urge, they have that appetite because they have seen they can move up. This time there's nothing else unless to go. If we are not going to go number 1, number 2, we go to number 3. We can go to the playoffs, and we 100% we are going to work for it.
The winner of the NSL, that is in the 2018 season, was Western Stima. They won that with 5 games left.
Sure.
I mean, do you see yourself doing that?
In fact, what we have talked with my assistant coach, Odijo, our first meeting and preparation meeting with the players, we said we want to finish the league with an hazard. So if anybody is not ready to finish the league with the hazard, we cannot remain in this national wide for more than 12 to 10 years because you have the experience and you know what's up. So I have selected some few Premier League players who can gel the team, who are ready to help the team to go. So I have got at least how many? Last year I was with the 4 players from the Premier League. Now I added 2. only two, to support the team. And they are the same players have been with them, but they went to other teams. They see they are not comfortable. They are not playing. They come and tell me, coach, yes, I'm in the Premier League, but I'm not playing. Please, can you give me chance to come again under you and then play like somebody like Roger? And you see, Roger, in the first leg in KCB, he was only with one score. When he comes to me, because I've been with Roger, we finished the league with 8. You see that already has starting development. So the most important thing we have said, we are going to give an hazard. We've talked with Masita. We ought to give an hazard. Whoever we are going to be number 2, who will follow us, we shall be far with the point. If we are going to be number 3, always we put the hazard and we do our mathematics.
Mr. Juma, well, one thing probably that is known with other coaches is all about results. But here is about, developing a player and getting the results. How do you manage to do that?
Very much well, because one, when I started, in fact, I'm a trained coach from Ninile, from Dutch. And when I go to Dutch for my preparation, I did not get a senior coach. I went there as a youth coach. So I know, I take my diploma, working with PSV teams, PAT, it was PSV. It was this team called, there's something Alem went there to work for. So I'm very much good to work with the youth than to work with the senior players, because the youth, whatever I talk to them psychologically, I want them to make name, I want them to understand. Because there is one thing you want to understand. We as elite coaches, we are doing a very, very big mistake. One, we all go to the national team and to the Premier League. But we forget that, let me talk in Kiswahili. Tunasahau kuwa pale chini ndio panataka the most qualified coach to produce the good player, because a player must be nurtured. A player must be well developed. After development, the player must add the value. We should add the value to him. So I'm very expert to develop and to add value. After that, I train the player to have that character. He can do something with the small age without without the coach.
So why is it that we don't put so much? We don't put much into developing these young players. We normally focus on the finished product.
Ambavyo kwamba ni makosa makubwa sana. Na ndio unaona huu mwaka the league has started, Tusker have dropped the player. Gor Mahia dropped, FC dropped. Swali ni moja. Mwezi wa 3 league hawata drop tena. Kwa nini? It is the mistake that the players, ule player hajakuwa develop in the right way. If the players develop in the right way, look at, for example, like Musa Otieno. He was under 20, 23 national team. The way Musa was grown, mpaka mwenyewe akajibeba, he went in South Africa, akastabilize, akakuwa mpaka now he's a coach, he's a killer, because he was properly developed. So if a player did not have a good preparation or a good coach, inakuwa ni matatizo. You always go for the right player. After the right player akisinki kidogo, you chase him. You go to the, so unakuta timu zetu zinakuwa na stability. Every time we recruit, every time we go for pre-season, every time inakuwa ndo matatizo, because it's only we don't have good players. Kama sasa mimi napata wachezaji kutoka Kakoro. They are superb. Good players. Okumbi have prepared them. Now they have come here. It's just now to teach them how they can maneuver in this football. But because football is a big ocean that you cannot swim and go through, you ought to know how to swim and to have that capability.
Finally, what you say that you might, you are going for the league. Sure. Should you are you assuring the fans of Talanta FC that is going to happen?
Yes, very much it's going to happen, and they need their support, and they know to go there is not so easy, but if I get the right support, we shall be there, and they will taste that top cream football. They will see it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Juma, namshukuru sana. That's Juma, the coach for Talanta FC. Remember, they finished 9th on the National Super League after accumulating 48 points. This is one of the teams that has created some of the best players that we have here in the country. And as I said earlier, the Kenya Premier League most valuable player, that is Eric Apaito, went through the system here at Talanta FC, and the likes of Farouk Shikalo also went through this. So now I want to speak to the Director of Sport Development at the Talanta Academy. That is Douglas Ratemo. Good morning, Douglas.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I am fine.
First of all, how does it feel knowing that some of the players that went through Talanta FC are the players that were awarded at the end of the season in the Kenya Premier League, despite the fact that they're playing for different teams?
Oh, that's exciting. And so delightful because that's the purpose for Talanta. We were not necessarily coming to this platform to win the league, but our purpose was to identify raw talent, some who have not been known by the clubs. When we brought them to the academy, trained them for some time, so we are grateful for CA who are accepted to sponsor these young people, the graduates of the academy. And from the academy, they are exposed, and many clubs come to scout them. When we see them climb to the ladder, we are so happy.
As the director of sport development in Talanta Academy, how do you do your scouting?
Previously, what we have been doing is that we have been using our county sports officers. Previously, formerly they were district sports officers, to identify the best. And they bring them for trials here in Nairobi. We have used this very grounds to then we call upon the national team coaches, and they help us to identify to scout for the best, whom then we are able to bring into the academy and eventually to the club. There are also times when we have gone out to the regions. We have at times we have divided this country into regions, so we have scouts going to Mombasa, they go to Garissa, they go to Kisumu, some regions, and then we call them and we do scouting from that point. But again, they have to again come. We probably arrive at about a large number, like 100 youth. We cannot take the 100 youth to the academy. So they come here and we do again the trials. That has been our format.
From when the academy was formed, that is when it began as NITA back in 2009, 2010. It was at the Talanta Academy, and now it's FC Talanta. What can you say of the growth of this academy, or rather team?
There has been a tremendous growth, both in performance and also in structure, because initially we were just a program. National Youth Talent Academy was just a program sponsored by UNICEF and the Ministry of Sports. However, now National Youth Talent Academy transited into the Kenya Academy of Sports, which is now a state corporation established by the Act. That's indeed one of the achievements, milestones, that now the program has been taken over by the government, owned by the government. And also, on top of that, one of the greatest accomplishments is that now the support we get from CA in favor of the football graduates, now called FC Talanta. FC Talanta is also now, we can say we have seen graduates coming out of this place. You remember, initially we were only looking for those young people who had talent but had not the opportunity to go to university, to go to college. But we just went for them on the basis of their talent. We brought them on board, and after training them, our goal was to empower them for a decent livelihood. That has been 90% achieved. Most of the young people, most of the graduates of the National Youth Talent Academy and those from then FC Talanta have transited into decent livelihood. Many of them we have quite a number who have gone even to play abroad. We have a number of them who have gotten scholarships and they are playing, that's the girls' football. They have gone abroad on the basis of their talent. We also can talk very, very proudly about the starlets, Harambee Starlets. About 50% or 60%. In fact, if we talk about even Matu, which was also a UNICEF-sponsored project, school, we have about 70% of the Harambee Starlets who came through the academy. That's also something that we are proud of.
So Kenyans would like to know, is the academy all about football, or do you have other sports that you've incorporated into this?
Very important. Kenya Academy of Sports is not about football. It's actually about every sport. Unfortunately, we have not rolled out programs for every sport, but we have done so well so far. We have had rugby, and our rugby team, the youth, represented Kenya in the Youth Olympics in 90%, and they were all supported by the National Youth Talent Academy. We have the volleyball team, the volleyball girls. Most of the girls under 23, Gaudensia, and many others came out of the academy. We talk about, we have also started programs in cricket. We have Karoli in Kiambu, but for young people. We have many other, basketball. We have programs in other sports, like we are doing golf. We have already done the curriculum. So Kenya Academy of Sports, we are doing every other sport, and in due time, probably when we are adequately able to do that, I'm sure we shall be having an academy in every sport. This holiday, for example, we are doing a tennis camp. We are doing hockey camp. We are doing Scrabble, chess, and of course football and volleyball. So the Academy of Sports is about all sports. Yeah. And we are looking forward for corporates to come on board so that they can also help us, like CA, Communications Authority of Kenya, supported the FC Talanta. We also hope that somebody else will come to support another youth group, another youth team, maybe in volleyball. And then we hope that then sports in Kenya will flourish and prosper. And we have talent. We have abundant talent in Kenya, especially in sports. The only things that we have not been able to properly harness the same, so that we have structures where we have these young people trained from under this, and that's what the Kenya Academy of Sports is now putting in place.
And finally, Coach Juma said that, at the end of the season, that the 2018-2019 season, what they're seeking to achieve is win the league. Do you see that happening?
Yes, I'm seeing this happening, especially after the second season, as we were progressing. Even last year we did well. We have now been learning about our challenges, and we are addressing them slowly by slowly. And for example, for a long time, all our players, we have always had the best players. But what happens is that after this first season, clubs come and they take them away. When they take them away, we are always open. We allow that, because that was the purpose of the club, to help these young people grow, go for greener pastures. So FC Talanta is happy, even CA is happy that our players have made it to a higher ground. However, we have also discovered that indeed we are addressing most of our challenges, and therefore we know that this time round, most of the young players now are very contented. Some have been even called to higher ground, to the higher clubs. But what's happening is that they have chosen to remain with FC Talanta. The atmosphere here is conducive. They are accommodated. Even players whom we have had who have gone out of our club before, they want to come back. They want to come back. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Douglas Ratemo, the Director of Sports Development at the Talanta Academy. Of course, he's been talking to us about sports development here in this academy, and how, the development that he's seen since the establishment of the academy in 2009, and almost 10 years down the line, and what they've managed to achieve. But now we want to get into the interesting session, and that is talking to the lieutenants on the field. That is the players for FC Talanta. We want to know from them, how the season was, the 2018 season, and what the aspirations for the 2019 season will be.